What is up, fellow modelers? Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the F4U Corsair. This is an awesome little kit made by Revel, and it is time, trust me. This is an older kit. You can see the raised panel lines and all of the great features Revel has to offer. Now, one tip, never build a Tamiya kit right before you build a Revel kit, because you understand how awful Revel kits actually are. But they are blissful in their simplicity. The instructions are very, very easy to read, detailed enough to build the kit easily, and everything goes smoothly just as it should. There are two decal versions to this kit, and I've built both of them. So I built these way earlier in my modeling career, and they ended up a lot better than these kits because these kits were bought off of eBay and all of the parts weren't there. So I actually was completely unable to finish these kits. But I show detailed instructions on how to build this kit and a good reference paint guide, and then it's done. You just see the pictures of my models that I built previously. So just stay tuned. You'll see how the basic assembly goes and filling in all these terrible gaps goes. So these gaps are pretty terrible just because it's really hard to fix raised details. I mean, you're looking at rivets and panel lines that are going to have to be sanded down and dealt with. So you really want to just make sure that that doesn't get damaged when you're doing this work. The interior of all of the landing gear bay doors there's no detail whatsoever. These are designed to go up and down to play with the model. I honestly would commit anyone to try to put a motor to this thing and see if you can RC fly it around, put a couple servos in it, and just chuck it in the sky. I thought about putting a rocket engine on it and just blowing it up in the middle of the sky, but that's just me. Just because I already had these two Corsairs, so I kind of wanted to do something fun like that. But this little piece here holds this piece in, and if you've built this kit before, you know that that piece that is the landing gear bay door for the rear tail wheel falls off every single time you turn the model around. So that's a fun little note to fact if you're building this kit. I wouldn't even put those on until you're finished with the model, to be honest. And the landing gear goes up and down, which is a super cool feature. But like I said, it's kind of tough to squeeze the parts together, glue it all, and honestly, if a kid is building this, I don't know how it wouldn't become a huge super glue bomb. I know mine was when I built it as a kid. So I put the two halves together first and just don't glue the bottom, and then set the tail wheel in there, split it apart just very carefully, and put the tail wheel in, and then glue that bottom part in. That way, it doesn't fall off 50 times before you put the model together and all your glue is dry and already screwed up all your gaps. So since this was a different kit, I'm using the same methods for gluing. And honestly, if you trim the interior of the kit perfectly and just dry fit it just right, you shouldn't have to do any major seams on this kit. But for now, I'm using this Tamiya glue to fill in all those gaps. I really had to clamp all this stuff down so that all the gaps would be filled and stuff. The tail actually didn't even have to glue in whatsoever. It just slides right into place and you're good to go there. I really like the fact that the tail is one piece too, because a lot of the times when you glue two different elevators together in the fuselage, it is really, really flimsy and is kind of tricky to get the right glue amount on there so it doesn't break in the future. The cowling was pretty detailed and fit okay. It just needed a little bit of sanding to fit perfectly with the model. As you can see, there's a little bit of a hump on where the cowling hooks to the fuselage. So what I did was I just cut that little piece with an X-Acto knife and then sanded it down on a piece of sandpaper until it was flush and smooth so that cowling fit on nice and good. And that cowling fits on there pretty good now, so I can glue it together. There's only a minor gap to fill. Now to get this seam right, I'm just scraping the excess plastic off that was kind of raised from gluing it together, and I also put some tape on to prevent any raised detail from getting damaged besides this area. Once that's all cleared off and ready to go, I sand it down with 1200 grit and then 1800 grit sandpaper, and peel the tape, and that's all that was required here. I sanded the other areas down carefully with the same type of grit paper so that you couldn't see the seams, and filled in the little tiny gaps with Tamiya putty filler. Now here's a really cool part of the kit is that the landing gear go up and down, so you don't have to choose between whether making your model on the ground or in the air. You can literally have it both ways. The landing gear go up and down, which is just super cool. I wish that they could do this with higher detail kits. I mean, honestly, I just think that's just such a super cool feature. And eventually we'll probably be attaching servos, and everything will go up and down. The wings, the landing gear, everything. I think that's the future of modeling, is to make it more advanced, more mechanic, more futuristic. If you see where 3D printing has gone, you know that it's definitely possible. So I just think that's a super cool idea to have, is to make everything automatic. Now I'm just gluing these joints together with some Tamiya extra thin, and it goes along smoothly. I use a file at first to sand out these edges, as these were the worst areas for filler and some sanding. And then I used 1200 and 1800 grit to finish them off. The wings were fine. I just taped them together and didn't glue them yet. And then once they were hooked to the airplane, I could then assemble them properly so that they could go up and down. And then I glued them after they were hooked together properly. This step is a bit finagly, trying to get that part in the right position, and you want to make sure that you have good adhesion on that piece of plastic there. It's a little tiny piece of plastic that hooks to that wing, so just be mindful of that. I'm cutting off this piece of plastic here because it just didn't set properly, and I just wanted it set in there properly so that the wing would be hooked together and actually look good for pictures. So then I can put on this part and hook it to the fuselage. And as you can see, the fit for the wings to the fuselage, really probably the best fit of the whole build. So I just glued it right after I placed it in there, and it was good to go. I would actually like to know in the comments if you guys have ever built this kit hyper detailed. I would just want to know how much work you guys have put into this kit. I personally would never do it. I know that I custom built an interior for my first one that I built, but I mean, it was when I was a beginner modeler, just testing things out, cutting pieces of battery packages open to get some plastic in the cockpit. But let me know in the comments what you guys have done with this kit. Here I'm using some Mission Models paint to actually paint the surface, and this is just a really nice looking blue. Mission Model sprays really easily and really well, and you don't have to thin it at all, but thinning it can help, and it's just a really nice deep blue. I really like their paints. So airbrushing this, I'm just airbrushing it blue just for the sake of showing you that this airplane gets blue. Sea Gloss Mission Models blue. And I'm not going to show the decal process, as this kit actually didn't come with any decals because I got it from eBay. But in any case, it's a good kit. You want to build this at least at least one time, just to say you did it, and then never do it again, because that's honestly that's what I experienced. So I threw it in the bin. And that's just the way life goes sometimes. You realize you get excited about a project, and it doesn't really go the way you want it to, so you toss it in the bin and you're done with it. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. You get to see the pictures of my actual Corsair that I built, and my first one turned out really good for a beginner modeler, and I'm just happy to share this hobby and this kit with you. So thank you guys. After this little bit of magic, bingo. See how it turned out pretty good after me being a first-time modeler and really showing you guys. So I built both decal versions. So this is the second decal version, and yeah, these things are actually pretty sweet. Like, you can do a lot of detail work with this kit and make it look good. So good luck with yours, and let me know in the comments what you have done with these kits if you have already. And just thank you guys so much again for watching. Let's get back to building.